in Linnaeus University, we have really good collaboration with especially IKEA. Then few of the students I know, especially from innovation program, they do lots of project with IKEA. As you have heard, IKEA is one of the giant company in Sweden. So with Linnaeus University, we do have very good, relationship with IKEA. Am I right or wrong, Stefan?
Correct. So we have a lot of collaboration with IKEA, and we have two programs just linked to it. As I mentioned before, the innovation through business engineering and design, and also the forestry within green sustainability. And linked to these both collaboration and programs, there is also a scholarship program, actually one for each specialization for the innovation program and one for the forestry program. Which is paid by IKEA and Söder, and it gives full coverage of tuition fees and living expenses. So it's the same kind of scholarship as the Swedish Institute give, but it's only at Linnaeus University and linked to these particular programs.
Good afternoon and good evening to everyone, whoever you have joined us from different countries. Thank you so much for joining us here today. Today we'll have a webinar about study in Sweden, as you can see that, and especially about Linnaeus University, Sweden. So we do have a special guest from Linnaeus University. It is Mr. Stefan Haglund. So dear students, please join the session with us and feel free to ask your questions to us. Stefan, could you please introduce yourself?
Yes,
Thank you
of
so
course.
much.
Hi, and thanks for inviting me to this webinar. So, as Avijit already said, my name is Stefan Haglund. I work at Linnaeus University as a communication strategist. I will give you a little bit of a presentation about Linnaeus University and also about Sweden. So, glad to have you all here, and hope you will get your answers after this session.
Thank you, Stefan. Stefan, it will be really nice to see about the university. If you could show us the presentation, so myself and our students can, get to know about the university more and more, and then
Sure.
they can ask the questions.
I will gladly do.
Thank you.
So, welcome everyone. That's have already been said, but I say it again because it can't be said too many times. And this we also cleared already. Stefan Haglund, that's me. I work at Linnaeus University as a communication strategist. We're responsible for the international student recruitment. So what will I talk about? Well, Sweden is obviously a little bit important also to know something about. Linnaeus University, the main subject for today's webinar. And then also general information about studies in Sweden and at Linnaeus University, and then also how to apply the steps you need to take in order to come here to Sweden. So first of all, Sweden. Sweden, I hope that some of you have heard something about Sweden, at least. And the most common people say when saying we are from Sweden is, and that is not to be mixed up with Switzerland. So we are Sweden, not Switzerland. So Sweden has a population with around 10 million people, and the capital is Stockholm. We are a constitutional monarchy, but a parliamentary democracy. Very secularized country, so basically you can live here, be wherever you are, and whatever religion you're from, you're free to come here. We are very strong when it comes to English proficiency, so we usually brag about being the country in the world speaking best English, not having it as first language. Usually the Swedes, the Dutch, and the Danish competing about that. Swedish culture, well, we are friendly, helpful, perhaps a bit reserved, generally said. We also love drinking coffee, so one of the biggest coffee drinkers in the world. Actually, the Finnish people are number one and Swedes are number two. So therefore, we also love our fika. And what is fika? Well, fika is actually drinking coffee with your friends before lunch and after lunch, usually with something little sweet. So basically sitting down, drinking coffee and talking. That's a fika. That's something you will learn for sure coming to Sweden. Famous Swedes, which younger people might have heard of, would be like Greta Thunberg, Avicii, Zlatan, ABBA, Sara Larsson, Max Martin, and Armand Duplantis. Very famous Swedish people. Sweden, when it comes to to innovation, safety, democracy, human rights, sustainability, and gender equality. These values are very strong in Sweden, and if you look at world index rankings, Sweden are top 5 in all of these 5 areas. So a very innovative and sustainable country. Famous companies, IKEA, H&M, Ericsson, Volvo, Spotify, that are some of the Swedish companies that you might have heard of but didn't know are Swedish. And as said, Sweden has a population of 10 million, and just give it a thought with all these multinational companies coming from Sweden. Swedish nature, very varied, but we have a lot of forests and lakes within the country. So almost wherever you live in Sweden, you have very close to a forest or water where you can swim and bath. It's a very clean environment, and you're allowed to actually walk in the nature. Due to that, we have something called right of public access, meaning that you can walk wherever in the nature as long as you don't break anything. We have 4 different, rather distinct seasons: summer, spring, autumn, and winter. And the climate varies a lot, so it can actually be down to minus 20, 15 degrees and up to 25, 30 degrees in the summer. So very varied. Right now, actually, it's around like plus 5, 6 degrees outside, but it could as well be minus 20 in this period. We have like a Swedish saying, there is no such a bad thing as bad weather, only bad clothing. So remember that when coming to Sweden. So moving on to Linnaeus University, the main subject of this webinar. Linnaeus University, we are the 6th largest university in Sweden, and that means around 40,000 students if looking at the large number. And with large number, I mean everybody studying something from a campus program, short course, to a distance learning student. So if you look at full-time students studying on campus, it would be more like 15,000 students. So 2,000 of these 15,000 full-time students are international students. So we are very good and big in internationalization. We are a rather young university also. With that said, we are not young in the academic quality because we started in the 60s, but we became Linnaeus University in 2010 through a merger between Växjö University and University of Kalmar. This picture here in background is actually from the Kalmar campus, which is situated just down in the guest harbor, just next to the Baltic Sea. So a lovely location, totally new built facilities. So with that said also, you heard me saying Kalmar, we have 2 different locations, so Kalmar and Växjö. Some programs are given in Kalmar, some are in Växjö, which is our little bit bigger campus and maybe the main campus. 2/3 of the students study in Växjö, 1/3 in Kalmar. Southeast of Sweden, as you can see, close down to Copenhagen Airport, a little bit far up to Stockholm. So we usually suggest students traveling to Växjö and Kalmar that it's easier to go through Copenhagen Airport in Denmark. Due to that, there also is a direct train running from the Copenhagen Airport both to Kalmar and Växjö, which runs every hour. High quality of education. If you study and do your homework regarding Sweden, you will learn that Sweden is a country which spends a lot of money in education. So we brag about being one of the biggest spender when it comes to public money into education. And that is due to that also education on academic level is actually free for Swedish citizens and EU citizens. And that means that we are mostly dependent on public money, which hires the quality generally in the education system. So we offer 50 different programs offered in English, around 500 courses. It's both on bachelor and master level. So we have a rather big mixture when it comes to what we offer taught in English. Ranking is obviously something that people usually ask about. We are in both times higher education impact ranking. When it comes to quality of education, we are we're ranked 300 out of 1,115. But if you look at the Shanghai ranking, which I guess a lot of people do, we are among the 900 top out of 18,000. So that's generally a very high level of education in Sweden. And also good to know is that all Swedish universities actually paid the same amount of money for a student from the government. So it doesn't matter whether you are a top-ranked university or a low-ranked university in Sweden. It still matters mostly how engaged your professor is in your program. As I said, we have a broad mixture of programs. So you have bachelor programs in business and economics, design, computer science, mathematics, and then master programs we basically offer within all kind of areas. So we have something to offer most students, I would say. Entrepreneurial, well, we are very entrepreneurial in the region where we're from. The smaller region in the southeast of Sweden is actually the heart of entrepreneurship and innovation. So a lot of small companies have started here. For example, IKEA, which is one of the biggest companies in the world when it comes to furnitures and home style things. So IKEA have their head office just south of Växjö campus, 50 kilometers. So there's a lot of collaboration between IKEA and Linnaeus University. We also have a big collaboration, the same collaboration called The Bridge with Södra, which is a big forest and wood company in Sweden. So there is a lot of focus on creativity, innovation, and sustainability at the university, and also linked to this collaboration. And within this collaboration, we run two different programs, one within innovation and one within forestry. Linked to that, we also have a certain scholarship program, which is rather unique, a scholarship program that would cover full tuition fees and living cost. International, as you saw before, I described 2,000 international students. Most of them study at the Växjö campus. And that means that the environment here is very international. So you meet a lot of international students everywhere on campus. And obviously, the bigger part in your programs will be international students. 2,000 active ones, a lot of mixture in that group, everything from exchange students coming here studying just a short course, up to degree-seeking students studying like everything from a 2 to a 3 year degree. We also have a lot of exchange students both going outwards. So that means that as a student here, you also have opportunities of being an exchange student at some other partner university around the world. If you look at the largest student groups, I would say that Germany, Pakistan, China, France, US, Japan, India, and Iran are the biggest student groups, but it's a huge mixture. So whatever program you would study, I can almost assure you to meet 5 to 10 different nationalities within the program. Just mentioning a little bit about our two campuses. We have two cities where we are located, as said before, Växjö and Kalmar. And Växjö is the little bit bigger city of the two ones, and also campus-wise. So Växjö, small city still, 90,000 inhabitants, one of the fastest growing cities in Sweden. And this is actually due to the university, because we drag a lot of people here to the city, and a lot of them tend to stay and find a job also in Växjö. Once announced the greenest city in Europe by Der Spiegel and BBC actually. And this is due to there is a strong focus on sustainable development in the city, but also due to that there is a lot of parks and lakes just in the city center, which makes it a beautiful city. And it's located in a very heavily forested part of Småland, and also this is obviously linked to that there is a lot of forest and wood industry in the region, and also research linked to that industry at the university. In Växjö, we have a bit more university campus style as in US. So that means all university buildings at one spot, and then you have like 5,000 students just living around campus. Sorry. So coming to Linnaeus University, studying in Växjö, you would most likely have like 2-3 minutes walking distance down to the university buildings. Kalmar, a little bit different city, more of a tourist city, a little bit smaller than Växjö, 70,000 inhabitants. It's a modern city, but yet some ancient buildings and surroundings. So, for example, there is a large medieval castle just next to the facilities in Kalmar, and as I mentioned before, it's newly integrated down in the guest harbor, and it's totally new facilities built from 2019. Also, we have a lot of natural science research in that area, and some of the programs are also in that area. And also we have a maritime academy, one of 2 in Sweden. Student life, well, it's a very active student life at Linnaeus University. So you have the student union where you have association linked to, buddy programs, friend-family projects, etc. And also, as I have mentioned, it's a large community of international students. So no worries. I can assure you, you will not be the only Bangladeshi student here. Generally, these days, I would say that maybe the student population of Bangladeshi students would be somewhere around 50, 60 students. What would you say, Avijit?
Sorry, could you repeat, please? Stefan?
I said that I would generally say that the Bangladeshi student group is around 50, 60 students at the university, maybe even bigger if you look at the population also in the city.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. It's a good number of Bangladeshi students. Those always comes to Linnaeus University.
Yeah. So a lot of students,
especially and I would like to add as I came here, in 2015, and I would like to say good number of Bangladeshi students comes to Linnaeus University, and it is very popular in Bangladesh. And we do have, good Bangladeshi community here as well. So I would like to welcome Bangladeshi students, as we do have, it's a good university. And I was once upon a time, even I studied at Linnaeus University. I'm one of the alumni from the university side. And it is as it is one of the best university in Sweden. And also I have studied here, and we do have a good Bangladeshi community here as well. So you are most welcome to come at Linnaeus University in Växjö, especially.
Yeah. Great to hear from you, Avijit. So I will move on a little bit here and give you some more detailed information about studies at Linnaeus University. So generally, when it comes to being in Sweden, a lot of students ask about whether it's allowed to work. And yes, it's allowed to work in Sweden, but do remember that you are mainly here to study. So that's what you should concentrate on. But it's no limit on how much you can work. So with the residence permit for studies, you're allowed to work beside your studies. And if you finish your degree in Sweden, you can also get a work. You can stay for 1 year after your studies just to find a job. So you're allowed to, after getting a degree award, to stay in Sweden for a year. And if you find a job during that time, you can also stay for longer. And that will be until you don't have a permanent job any longer. Internship is a common question. Some programs offer it, but it's more of a project basis than it's a regular internship. A lot of students find jobs after their studies. From 75% approximately have found a job 3 months from graduation. It's good to know from our alumni barometers. A little bit about the tuition fees. Well, tuition fees varies a lot, but most likely if coming to Sweden and Linnaeus University and study, you will pay somewhere between 110,000 Swedish krona to 155,000 Swedish krona, because that's the 2 most common categories. And business, humanities, social science being a little bit cheaper than computer science, natural science, engineering. Design, music can be very expensive. So to get it in euros, you can take away a 0 approximately, and then you will get it in euros. For EU citizens, no tuition fees at all. Scholarship programs, that is obviously also something that people ask a lot about. We have a couple of big scholarship programs. You have the first one run by our Linnaeus University, the Linnaeus University Scholarship Program, which can give you up to 75% reduction of tuition fee. One thing to mention, if applying for that scholarship program, you can only apply for it if you prioritize a program at Linnaeus University as your first priority, and it's only for master students. The second biggest scholarship program in Sweden would be the Swedish Institute Scholarship Program. You apply for it through the Swedish Institute, so that you find more information about at studyinsweden.se. And it's a rare but very good scholarship that would give you full coverage of tuition fees and living costs. A little bit more unique and even more rare scholarship is the IKEA and Södra Scholarship Program. It's also give full coverage of tuition fees and living costs, but it's directly applied for at Linnaeus University, and the students that can apply for this program are the ones that apply for our innovation program or our forestry program. So only for students applying for forestry or innovation as first priority master programs. And then if you don't get the scholarship as a newly admitted master student, you get an opportunity from your second and third year. And that is a little bit later process. You apply in May, and it will be within the Linnaeus University Scholarship Program, you could say. But you will be added in from your second or third year. Cost of living, approximately, you should plan for something like this. And as I said, if you take away 10, you get what it's approximately counted from the migration agency. So around like 940 euros for a month of living in Sweden. So why Linnaeus University? Well, we are highly praised when it comes to our environments. We have a very unique campus, I would say, which is one of a kind in Sweden, where you have all the university buildings in one spot and very close living from the university, from the students studying at the university. We have totally new facilities built in Kalmar, which means that it's a top-notch study environment. So that means that whatever you study and whatever city you study at, you will meet a very nice study environment. Informal teaching style, well, the kind of study environment that we give in Sweden, actually I would say that it stimulates curiosity, creativity, and critical thinking through the teaching style, basically, where you're supposed to be part of a lesson, a lecture, rather than just sitting in listening. So expect to ask a lot of questions, being part of a discussion within the classroom, and also doing a lot of group assignments where you learn from your peers. Good quality of life, as mentioned before, both Växjö and Kalmar are small, lovely, secure cities where you have a very easy life. And easy lives obviously means that you can concentrate on your studies and make the best of it. So Google a little bit about Växjö and Kalmar, and I assure you will find that they are lovely cities to live in. Creativity, innovation, sustainability, equality, and diversity are very strong Swedish values. So no matter what you study in Sweden, you will learn more about these areas. So how do one apply? Well, all applications in Sweden are done through universityadmissions.se. Online application, so usually I describe it as online shopping, and then everybody knows what it's about. Basically, you can do 4 different program choices in master level and make up your priority order. The application deadline are 15th of January. Last day to support your application and pay your application fee are 1st of February. That you do everything through the portal. And then you will get your notification of selection result, admission result in the end of March, beginning of April. So easy online application, which you do. And I'm pretty sure that Avijit can tell you even more about it if you contact him further on. Useful links, well, lnu.se, lnu.se/study. That's where you find a lot of information about Linnaeus University and our programs. If you want to know more about general information in Sweden, studyinsweden.se is a really good source. The application portal, as I just mentioned, universityadmissions.se, that's where you find all the linking information regarding how to make your application, etc. If you want to contact us, you can do so through study@lnu.se, which is our more kind of general email where you get your questions answered. Or if you have very specific questions regarding admission, you can contact the admissions office directly through admission@lnu.se. You also have the possibility to chat with our students. You can do so through our webpage. We use an online platform called Unibody. So you basically just register and then you can chat with students from a lot of different countries and programs. Study in Sweden. This is the page where to look at for studies in Sweden, as I mentioned. If you want to follow us on social media, do so. Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Just Google about and just search for Linnaeus University and you will find us there. That was actually about it, Avijit. So whatever questions you have to me now, I'm open for that.
Thank you, Stefan, for the nice presentations. Actually, I think it's really helpful for myself and for our students. They got to know a lot about Linnaeus University in Sweden. As you are discussing about quality of education, I would like to say, good number of students, you know me, and if you don't know me even, I came here in 2015 and I came at Linnaeus University, particularly in Sweden, as an international student, and I started my master's in entrepreneurship for 2 years. And beside this also, there was an opportunity to go for the Erasmus exchange program, where with Linnaeus University, there are, I will say more than 100 plus partner universities they do have all over the world, where you can go as an exchange student as well. So Linnaeus University is giving you that opportunity as well. When you are studying in Linnaeus University, at the same time for 1 semester, you can go abroad, other countries for 1 semester to study. Or in 3rd semester, you can go for internship. You can go for, job experiences, those kind of things as well. You can especially go for internship, or sometimes in Linnaeus University, we have really good collaboration with especially IKEA. Then few of the students I know, especially from innovation program, they do lots of project with IKEA. As you have heard, IKEA is one of the giant company in Sweden. So with Linnaeus University, we do have very good, relationship with IKEA. Am I right or wrong, Stephen?
Correct. So we have a lot of collaboration with IKEA, and we have 2 programs just linked to it. As I mentioned before, the innovation through business engineering and design, and also the forestry within green sustainability. And linked to these both collaboration and programs, there is also a scholarship program, actually one for each specialization for the innovation program and one for the forestry program. Which is paid by IKEA and Söder, and it gives full coverage of tuition fees and living expenses. So it's the same kind of scholarship as the Swedish Institute give, but it's only at Linnaeus University and linked to these particular programs.
Exactly. And I know even as I studied here, I know a good number of students who have done their internship or their even a project or even their thesis through IKEA, and later on they have ended up with a job with IKEA. So these are really brilliant opportunity for you. And as truly speaking, I have been many universities in Europe, but I will say Linnaeus University is truly one of the international university. It has lots of international students compared to any other universities, not only in Sweden, but also in whole Europe. No, because this is true. Like Stephen, like I visited many universities, as you know, and we have, especially like in VECO, we have really large campus, and Linnaeus University is also, I mean, providing a very good accommodation facilities compared to any other universities, even in I mean Sweden. So these are really really good opportunities for the students because when they're coming from their home country, they're not only learning from the classroom, at the same time they're learning from their fellow classmates and from the student, like those where they are living together in the same accommodation and so on. So these are really good opportunities for them. Anyway, Stefan, if we can talk about little bit about SI scholarship, please.
Well, I can't tell you all the details. The Swedish Institute scholarship that you apply for directly at the Swedish Institute, and I know that it's only certain countries that can apply, and Bangladesh is one of these countries. So the Swedish Institute scholarship would cover full living cost and also tuition fee. So that would mean that you get around like 10,000 Swedish krona a month for studying, and then also the tuition fees are paid. It's a rather rare scholarship that when it comes to all students, all nationalities, we have around 15 students studying with the SI Swedish Institute scholarship every year at Linnaeus University. But for more detailed information about that, just go through Study in Sweden, and then you will see what would be the regulations for this particular year, because they change it a little bit every year. But most likely you will have to have some job experience in order to be able to apply for it. Usually I think they demand like 2 years job experience in order to apply for it.
Yeah, they should have a minimum 3,000 hours of work experiences.
Yeah,
and mostly sorry, SI, they look for leadership skills as well.
Yep, exactly.
So they look for the students actually, those who will come to Sweden and after finishing their degrees, who can go back their home countries and who can lead the society. They are trying to build up a global leader actually. So this is the purpose of SI scholarship actually. So if you think you have a good experiences, if you have a good profile, please apply for it as well.
Definitely.
And as so we have one question here. One Atik Sharia Hridoy, he has asked, without IELTS can I apply in master's program?
No, actually not. That's the situation right now. The rules now say that students from Bangladesh need to take an IELTS also to apply to Sweden. There might be certain exemptions, but generally the answer would be you need to take an IELTS and you need to meet like 6.5.
Yes.
In order to, no section below 5.5 in order to be admitted.
Yes. And it is not only IELTS. I mean, we do accept like a PTE, TOEFL as well. Like so, you must have to have IELTS. It's as IELTS like a overall 6.5, no band less than 5.5 minimum.
Yeah, correct.
And also as we are discussing about the deadlines, as we are discussing about the deadlines, 15th January, dear students, 15th January is the deadline. And so I would request you all, please apply as soon as possible.
Exactly. So 15th of January, last day to apply. 1st of February, last day to pay application fee and to upload all your documents. But the sooner the better, actually, also, because we have like a national agency doing like a pre-evaluation for us. And if students do their application earlier, let's say before the 7th or 8th of January, they most likely will get like a pre-evaluation, which means that you also get a chance of supporting other documents before the deadline if there would be something missing. because if you do your application like 15th of January, you support your application 1st of February, you will be in rather long queue of reviewing, which means that few students will get this kind of pre-evaluation and get the chance of supporting documents. So make sure that always do your applications before the 7th, 8th of January. And that the chances of making a correct application are much higher. And making a correct application is also important because if you need to support your application and do that late, you miss the chance of applying for scholarship also.
Exactly. So as Stefan has added, if you apply early, you will get the notification even if you miss some of the documents here and there. But if you do it late, then maybe you will get the notification, but then you will not have enough time to submit the documents again. Yeah, maybe you can submit it, but if you submit the documents after 1st of February, then it will be considered as late application. And as a result, you will have a less chance to get the admissions. Even though if you get the admission, you will get the admission lately. And whereas you will apply for the residence permit lately and it might be rejected later on. So the consequences will be bad if we apply lately. So better, therefore it will be our request, please dear students, apply as soon as possible. And if you don't know what to do and how to do things, we are always here. You can contact with JRK International Education Consultants, and on the screen you do have our contact details. Please contact with us. We are here to help you out. I think Stefan, students are clear actually. Like last few days, we are having lots of, webinar about different universities, Swedish universities. So they're mostly clear about the things. So far, I understand. So we won't take long time as we do not have much questions actually, as it was a fantastic presentation. So I believe they're clear about it. So before we end up the sessions, if you have any final comments for the students, please.
I would say that we would love to have you as students here. We have a couple of unique programs that I think you should check out. The innovation program is one of them. Forestry is another one of them. And if you want to be in the heart of a smaller region of Sweden where creativity, entrepreneurship, and innovation are the strongest values, and also things that point out Sweden as a leading country in the world, come to Linnaeus University and study. We will welcome you all.
Thank you so much, Stefan. I know you are so busy, but still you gave the time for our students. Thank you so much for that. And I wish you Merry Christmas and Happy New Year in advance.
Thank you. The same to you.
Thank you. And Stefan, when you have time, please send me this PPT so that we can pick up some points for the students and we can share with them from this PPT. It will be really nice. Okay. So thank you so much, Stefan, for joining us here today. And dear students, I would like to say thank you, and please make the applications as soon as possible, so that you can make the applications before the deadline. And especially for the Bangladeshi students, I would like to say, Stefan, in Bangladesh, there is an election in 7th of January. So as there will be election, the country will be busy with some other issues as well. So sometimes so that's why student, dear students, I will say please make the application as soon as possible, because due to election at that time, beginning of January, it will held on 7th of January. So maybe at that time, as you need to send the documents which will be attested by your university. So that means those things might take time. So please try to finish these things by December. It will be really nice things for all of you. So once again, Stefan, thank you so much for coming. And dear students, thanks for joining with us. See you in another webinar. Till then, take care. And I wish you all Merry Christmas and Happy New Year in advance. Take care of yourself. Thank you, Stefan. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.